Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today I'll be analyzing the wetness of Paddington 2, and I'm not just referring to the wetness of the tears I nearly shed at the end of this movie. I'm talking about the moisture content of the entire product. This movie's been getting 100% and 10 out of 10s across the board, and I was honestly a bit hesitant to see it. I get very emotional when I'm faced with overly cute things, and Paddington is an overly, incredibly adorable, cute, stuffy, wuffy little teddy bear, and I was afraid to see it. I was more afraid to see Paddington 2 than any horror movie ever made, because it's a weird feeling getting all emotional in public like that. But I still went to see it, and you all know me as someone who conveys a wide range of emotions, really wear my heart on my sleeve, so you can only imagine how emotional I was seeing this cute bear in action. And man, I'm super glad I went to see that movie. That is probably one of the most surprisingly amazing movies I've ever seen. It absolutely deserves all of the incredible rave reviews it's getting. The biggest sin is how poorly this movie is doing at the box office. If Jesus came back to us today, he would see a lot of fucked up shit, no doubt about that. But I think the straw that would break the camel's back and have Jesus write all of us off as a terrible species is seeing how bad Paddington 2 is doing in the box office. It's genuinely just disheartening. This is a genuinely fantastic movie that deserves all of the success in the world. It is perfect from start to finish. I couldn't stop smiling, and it's not just for kids, although it's predominantly a kids movie, obviously. Let's go ahead and call a ripped dildo a ripped dildo. It is a kids movie, but it is so wholesome and so fun to watch. The cinematography is superb. There's some scenes in here with really good animation in terms of like different mediums and how it's portrayed. All of it is just so good. The comedy wasn't too childish. Some of them would get like a genuine little giggle out of me. Well, not giggle, but like a little, one of those blowing the air out of your nose and stuff like that. And it's hard to make me laugh at a movie. So getting that is a Herculean task. So good job, Paddington. The movie is just so fun and so wholesome. I have no complaints about this movie. Absolutely none. The cast was great. Everything was acted beautifully. Story was super fun. Really fast paced. A lot going on. A fun little adventure. It's just, oh my goodness. I can't rave enough about Paddington 2. I never thought I would be this blown away by a movie like Paddington 2. It's just amazing what they were able to accomplish and how well they did it. Paddington is the cutest little thing. The absolute cutest little thing. And at the end of the movie, you know exactly how it's going to unfold, but you can't help but just get super emotional. I didn't cry, I'm happy to say. I managed to muscle my way through that without flexing the tear ducts. So that's, I'm still a big, strong man with hairy testicles. But man, I was close. I was fucking close. I've only cried at two movies. Well, one movie and one TV show. The only movie I ever cried at was Radio with Cuba Gooding Jr. Only TV show is Pokemon when Ash was shooing away Pikachu. But this movie, it came close to being number 3. What a great fucking movie. I highly recommend this to anyone out there. And this is a great movie if you have a niece, nephew, son, daughter, and they want to go see a movie. But all these movies have, rock and roll, titties, and, well, there's no blood because blood wouldn't get them a PG-13 rating anymore. It'd be R. But, rock and roll and titties all over the place. So you want to take them to something where you feel safe and they'll learn something and have a good time. And you don't want to be bored out of your mind either. Paddington 2. Absolutely Paddington 2, hands down. It's just a fucking great movie for everyone, not just for kids. I love the movie. Absolutely love it. I cannot compliment the movie enough. So let's just go ahead and pop this shit into the moist meter. I'm giving this a 90%, and the only reason I'm not giving it 100% is just because, like I've said before, 100% I feel is reserved for absolute masterpieces that I think everyone needs to get up and go see immediately. I'm talking a movie where I don't care if you can't even afford to buy yourself a bag of Doritos, you better start getting your ass to wishing wells and plundering that shit, collecting quarters to save up enough to buy a ticket to a movie I give 100% to on a moist meter. That's the kind of film and video game I'm reserving for 100%. And Paddington 2 is not that kind of movie. It's a fucking fantastic movie. It's an amazing movie even. But it's not a movie where I think everyone needs to go see it right away. It's not a movie that made my nipples grow 3 inches. It didn't make me taller. If it made me taller, I'd give that well above 100% on the moist meter. But it's a fucking great movie that I do think is absolutely worth seeing if you want to see a movie Or if you have to take, a younger person to a movie and you don't want one that's going to bore the shit out of you. And I didn't give it a 95% either, only because it is still a kid's movie. If you're an adult, it's not going to make this huge, lasting impression on you that's going to change your outlook on life. I feel I need to clarify a bit better why I didn't give this movie a 95%. And it's not just because, it's a kid's movie, it's not mature enough for me, it didn't change the way I perceive reality, and it didn't open my third eye. It's because I reserve 95s and 100s to movies that really push boundaries, movies that really excel in every possible area. They take risks and it pays off and it becomes this masterpiece. 95s and 100s are pretty interchangeable to me. There's really no difference between a 95 and a 100. To me, the gap is 90 to 100. And Paddington 2 is the closest thing to me wanting to give it a 95, but I don't really think that's accurate, because to me that says this is a movie that everyone everywhere will love no matter what their personal tastes are. And Paddington 2 is not that kind of movie. It's an incredible movie that I do think the majority of people will enjoy, as long as they're open to just having a mindlessly wholesome, fun adventure ride, a very cute movie. But it's not a movie where I feel is one that took a lot of risks or didn't play by the rules. It's just a movie that excelled in all of the areas that it hit, and those areas it hit are areas that are covered in a million other kids' movies and movies like Paddington 2. I just think Paddington 2 is the best one. So that's my justification for not going above a 90. But it is an absolutely fantastic movie. I have no complaints about it. Everything it wanted to do, it did beautifully. A fucking great movie. I couldn't be happier with my purchase of those Paddington 2 tickets. I want to fucking frame those bad boys. I want those bitches up on the wall. I want to get Paddington 2 memorabilia. God damn, that movie was fucking good. So yeah, that's it. See ya.